Hi everyone, I'm truly glad we're back for another PMP and CAPM certification session. We're officially on Predictive Questions 17, Project versus Product Lifecycle. Now, in our last session, episode 16, we mastered stakeholder engagement and the register gateway rule. But once you've engaged everyone and the work is finally done, how do you actually end a project, right? Today we're talking about the boundary between a project and the product it creates, specifically the project lifecycle, that temporary endeavor with a discrete end, versus the product lifecycle, which is the ongoing evolution of the result from concept to retirement. Remember, the project is temporary. Think about it. Can you have a product without a project, or a project without an end? I'll be honest, early in my career, I fell into the good service fallacy. I managed a software rollout that never ended because I thought saying yes to small enhancements during closure was being helpful. I thought it was, good customer service. It wasn't. It was a failure of governance. 6 months later, I was still stuck in that project while my other work suffered. I had failed to respect the project boundary. Don't make that mistake. Our objective today is to move beyond tactical, ad hoc responses and into formal boundary management, specifically the professional discipline of closing projects and initiating new business cases. Before we dive into our high-stakes scenario, let's look at what we'll cover today. Take a look at these 4 columns, our roadmap for today's focus. Column A, differentiating between the project and product life cycles, will separate the project's discrete baseline from the product's ongoing evolution. Column B, protecting project closure's integrity, will learn why those final protocols must be shielded. Column C, identifying the new business case as our procedural compass for starting new work. And Column D, rejecting common governance violations during these critical transitions. Those 4 areas will guide us as we step into our high-stakes scenario. Let's see what we've got. Imagine you were the project manager for a new customer support system. The status is as follows. The final acceptance signatures are dry on the parchment, just as we mastered in episode 11. Lessons learned are archived into your organizational process assets, and your project resources have already been officially released or reassigned to, new organizational priorities, right? At this critical juncture, your sponsor requests an additional feature that is entirely outside the original project scope. So, what will you do next? According to standard predictive methodologies, what is the most professional, immediate action for the project manager? Take a moment, choose the right option, and write it in the comments section below, explaining why you chose it. Think about the sequence. Think about the analysis. The clock starts now. Option A. Inform the sponsor that the feature is not within the project's scope and cannot be addressed. Now, while technically true regarding the current project scope, this is a dead-end response. It essentially slams the door on the organization's strategic vision without offering a path forward. Professional project management is about solving problems, not just, reciting constraints, right? Option B, reassign team members from the project to handle the new features. This is a disruptive and unauthorized move. See, once project resources are released, they belong to new project budgets or have returned to their functional managers. I've seen PMs do this to avoid a difficult conversation with a sponsor, but it always leads to operational whiplash. It's just not worth the technical debt. Attempting to bring them back without a formal initiation process creates, organizational chaos and disregards the official closure of the previous project. We can't just borrow people like that. Option C, use remaining funds from the original project to cover the new features. This is a common but dangerous malpractice, often called the found money myth. Never use residual funds, that's the leftover budget not spent on the authorized scope, for unauthorized expansion. Many PMs think using leftover money to, delight the sponsor is good practice. But wait, is residual budget just a trap for the unwary PM? Wrong. It's a financial control violation. See, project funding is authorized for a specific baseline scope. Rating the leftovers for unauthorized features without a new business case bypasses financial controls. It's a breach of governance, plain and simple. Option D, advise the project sponsor to create a business case to secure funding for a new project. This involves initiating a new business case. That's the formal feasibility study used to justify a new initiative. Differentiate between a project, the temporary vehicle, and a product, the ongoing result. A single product can be the subject of multiple projects throughout its life. This path proposes identifying the request as a separate, discrete initiative. But is it the correct answer? Let's find out. The correct answer to our question is option D. Advise the project sponsor to create a business case to secure funding for a new project. Why? Because the project is temporary. And I mean it. Again, the project is temporary. It has an architectural cliff, a terminal boundary. Why respect the boundary? Because what is a project without an end? In my experience, the best PMs aren't the ones who say yes to everything. They're the ones who have the backbone to follow the process. When significant enhancements are requested after closure protocols have begun, the professional response is to initiate the pre-project phase for a new discrete initiative. Significant new requirements requested after project closure must trigger a new business case and a new project initiation process. On the PMP exam, remember the boundary gateway. Closure must be respected to maintain, organizational efficiency. This is the core of boundary management, the discipline of managing transitions between life cycles. Don't get stuck in the eternal project trap. Let's bring it all together. Point 1, life cycle distinction. Again, the project is temporary. The project is the temporary means. The product is the ongoing result. Point 2, boundary integrity. Closure activities, including the release of resources and the archiving of organizational process assets, are final. If closure activities have already begun, the project boundary is closed. New scope cannot be added to the current baseline. That's our approved version of the project plan. Point 3, initiation logic. Significant new work requires a, new business case. And point 4, governance mindset. Never, and I mean never, use residual funds for unauthorized scope. Remember, the project is temporary, but your professional rigor is permanent. Excellent work today. You've shown that leadership's about the discipline to follow formal, analytical protocols, the social backbone of project termination, right? Remember the technical journey we mapped together in episode 2? Respecting these boundaries early is your gateway to success. Before you go, just remember our core rule from today. The project is temporary. Significant enhancements require a new baseline. I'm proud of your commitment today. In episode 18, we'll examine the methodologies for managing blocking stakeholders who disrupt technical progress. I'll see you right there.